with some of the destinations that we're going to travel to, we're going to need some extra height. So I reckon we should do a lift kit ASAP. The flex that this vehicle's got for a standard suspension is just unbelievable. Not that we need more flex, but we just need more ground clearance for where we're going to go. The lift that we will be fitting to this vehicle is a Tough Dog big bore 4-inch lift kit. But don't worry, we will have to get that engineered so it's compliant for the road. And this vehicle's got all standard bushing in there, and as you can see, they're worn out. So we'll replace that with all new stuff. So the JAX Tribe 4x4 is wrapped and ready for upgrades. Let's go. All right guys, now that we got the rims and tyres fitted, it's time to get the lift kit done so we can fit these tyres under that car. So before we put the suspension in, we did need to do a measure up. I'll just get Jen in to do a quick measure up. Stand here. All right, we're looking at waist height on the guard, just below shoulder. But seriously, let's do a proper measure up. Come on in. We're looking at 740 from rim to guard on the front. Let's come to the back. We're looking at 785 on the rear. Let's get it done. Check out the difference in these two shocks. Genuine Toyota, original fitment, 45mm adjustable Tough Dog shock. Crazy difference. So before we go any further, in the 4-inch Tough Dog suspension kit comes these extended braided brake lines. As you can see here, this is the factory one, and before we even remove the spring, it's already tensioned. So we're going to replace that now, then we'll remove the spring, and then we'll continue with the lift. All right, I think it's time to get out with the old and in with the new. Let's do it. Now that we've got the front springs and the shocks in place, we've got to replace these front radius arms. Now normally we'd do caster bushes in the front of them. However, because of such a big lift, I've chosen to go with a Super Pro extended trailing arm. These are longer, stronger, more heavy duty for what we want to do. All right, so I just thought I'd show everyone the comparison between the OE fitment and the Super Pro trailing arms. The difference is unbelievable. The thickness and how they're made and the quality of this part is absolutely sensational. Credit to Super Pro and the quality of their workmanship. Now that we've fitted the return to center steering dampener and the new panhard rod, the panhard rod's going to obviously adjust the front diff left and right as we lift it. We'll sort all that out in the wheel alignment machine. Bit of a size comparison between the old dampener and the new dampener. Definitely going to help us out when we're on the beach. Whenever I'm doing bushes, I always like to use Super Pro. They have a lifetime warranty. And if they're good enough to give us a lifetime warranty, I don't know why you'd want to use anything else. And when I'm getting my bushes, I get it from Burson's Auto. Now that we've finished the front, let's get onto the rear. Come on, Charlie, let's get this job done. That's the clean, that's the knocking noise. So now that we've fitted this new suspension, I thought I'd give a brief explanation on what the parts do. We're at the rear of the vehicle here, and we've got the adjustable panhard rod. As we lift the vehicle, the diff will pull one way. So we have the adjustability here when it's on the wheel alignment hoist to make sure that the diff is centered for the vehicle so it tracks correctly down the road. Upgraded the all new bushes on the sway bars. We've had to, let's come around the side here, Jen. Because we've done a 4-inch lift, we've had to use the sway bar drop mounts with extendable sway bar links to get the sway bar at the correct angle. We've also got adjustable lower trailing arms and adjustable upper trailing arms to help center the diff and make sure our tail shaft uni joint is at the correct angle. The Tough Dog 45mm adjustable foam cell shocks with the adjuster down the bottom here, 9-stage, which adjusts the flow rate depending on what load you have. We've chosen to go with Airbag Man with their high pressure kit. It has a Kevlar bag around so that the springs do not pinch the airbag. So we're at the front of the vehicle now, and like the rear, we've got an adjustable panhard rod just so that we can adjust the diff left and right to centralise it for tracking. At the front here, we've got the return to centre Tough Dog steering dampener. This definitely helps for when we're driving. If we need to make an adjustment to help it drive straight, we can preload this collar left and right, as I explained in another video, which is definitely an advantage when you have a solid front diff where you can't adjust your camber or your caster too much, like an independent suspension car. So on the front, we've got Super Pro trailing arms. You can do bushes in the original arms, however, these are longer, which help hold the diff forward. In addition to that, like the rear, we've done front extensions for the sway bar links with Super Pro bushes to help the sway bar be at the right angle. With the springs on this car, we've chosen to go with the steel ball bar winch front springs. The rear springs are a constant 300 load springs. That's why we've chosen to go with the airbags in the rear to help assist. All right guys, rims, tyres and suspension is all done. Come on in, let's do a quick measurement on the after figure. So we've got the front at 910, which is 160 millimeters larger on the front suspension. Let's go to the rear now. 920, which is 150 millimeters higher in the rear. For the final measurement though, we need to get Jen in. Come on in, babe. All right, so before we were mid-shoulder, now we're over Jen's shoulder, which is not hard to do because she is short. One thing we haven't considered is how Jen's gonna get in this car. So we thought, Jen's never done this before, we thought we'd do this one take. Hop in the car, Jen, let's see how you go.